Well, it's the end of the year, and every year at the end of the year, I do a video discussing the best and worst fragrance releases of the year. So in this video, I'm going to briefly kind of talk to you about what were the best perfumes that came out this year and what were the worst ones. Okay, so let's jump right in. Hi my lovely people, welcome back to another fabulous fragrance video. Like I said, in this video, we're gonna this is gonna be like speed dating, okay, speed talking. So I have a lot to cover here, so I'm gonna go really fast. Let's jump right in. I'm going to talk about the best releases of 2023, and then I'm gonna talk about the worst ones. Obviously, I'm not gonna cover every single one of the releases that, perfume releases of this year, because there were hundreds of them. There's no way I can do that, and no way I own them all or even know them all. But I'm going to I have a lot of the really famous ones, talked about ones that came out in my collection. And of course, the worst ones, I know what they were. So let me cover the top ones in terms of the best and the worst. So I think one of the best fragrances that came out this year was this one, and I kind of told you guys a little bit about it in a couple of my videos, but this is not only one of the best releases of this year, but also the best pistachio fragrance ever. Guys, this is Un Pistache by Obvious Parfums. This is the most gorgeous pistachio fragrance ever. And I talked to you about, in my last video, a little bit about how disappointed I was in the Kayali pistachio fragrance. And I got a lot of pistachio fragrances, and none of them are as good as this one. This one actually strikes that perfect balance between giving me enough pistachio and yet not going overboard, and also being a perfume, smelling like a perfume, not too gourmand, but gourmand enough. It just strikes that perfect balance. I feel like it's a very beautiful, I think the reason why this fragrance is successful is because it's not only a pistachio dominant fragrance, but also it's actually powdery and musky too, other than being pistachio also. I really love this fragrance. It slightly has a little warmth to it. Love the pistachio in the middle, with a little bit of that sort of almond nuance from the heliotrope. I'm not going to get into too much of the notes in this video, you guys, but it's basically a beautiful pistachio fragrance with a bit of powderiness and a bit of musk that actually smells like a perfume. It's gourmand, slightly gourmand, but also not too gourmand, but it gives me enough pistachio and it smells like pistachio. It's really, and not overly pistachio, but also gives me enough pistachio. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Obvious Parfum, Un Pistache. And here is another beautiful fragrance I think was a successful release. This is Dolce & Gabbana Devotion. This is a beautiful orange blossomy sweet fragrance, but not overly sweet. It has, I think, a candied citrus in here that really adds that just the right amount of sweetness to it. I love it when the notes are candied because it like gives a sweetness without ruining the fragrance, like when you put straight up sugar or straight up honey or some kind of sweet note in it, And this has that beautiful orange blossom. Like I said, it's a slight candied orange blossom fragrance. It's very feminine and gorgeous, and like slightly sweet. That vanilla note in the base is awesome. This is great for spring and summer, especially spring. Successful release. Here's another out of this world fragrance that was released this year. This is Sugar Leather by Nuit. You guys know I love this fragrance house. I love the whole philosophy behind this fragrance house, and it smells just like what it says, sugared leather, you know, like it's got a caramel note that gives it that sugar, that sweetness, but it has this sort of ambery leather vibes, like you know, a leather note, you know, if it's done right, can make a fragrance smell so luxurious. And it is luxurious and it's sexy with that caramel note together. It is just perfect. You know, oddly enough, it, to me, when I wear it, my husband loves it on me, but it actually is unisex. A man can wear it too, but I'm telling you, it's a very sexy fragrance. It's one of the ones that I really love from my collection, Sugar Leather, Nuit. I do have a discount code. If I forget to say it, you guys, I might forget to mention the fragrances for which I have discount codes for you guys. Just check my description box, because I may forget to say. It's best to check the description box right below this video. So yeah, I do have a discount code for that fragrance house down in the description box. And here is another fabulous release this year. This is Valentino Donna Born in Roma on Tones. This is a compliment getter. I mean, actually, these all are that I talked about so far. This one was that right amount of balance, you know, between sweetness and gourmand, you know, and floral. It's got loads of vanilla, loads of amber, very ambery, vanilla-y fragrance. It's such a heavy dose, a bucket of vanilla that makes it smell so yummy. Beautiful jasmine, just like the original one. And it has benzoin too. It's basically vanilla through and through. Even amber has vanilla in it, you know what I mean? And it smells absolutely delicious. I love this fragrance. It is a compliment getter. Speaking of which, this was limited edition, so I'm not gonna spend too much time here. It's very much like this, but this has got a more, a slight bit of, I wouldn't say bubblegummy vibe, but it's got that orange blossom, but slight bit of bubblegummy. I'm willing to bet there's a little tuberose in here, whether it's revealed or not. Some citruses, loads of vanilla, just like the Entons here, but this has like a bit of like a, I want to say cotton candy either. It's got a little bit of like that Barbie vibes, honestly. It reminds me of Barbie. Beautiful. And here is one of the most, I guess it's a little polarizing, which it shouldn't be. Honestly, this should be a straight up beauty that everyone gets, but not everyone got this fragrance because some of them didn't really appreciate. This is such a gorgeous, elegant fragrance. By the way, it has like even aldehydes in it, which really adds this awesome, like otherworldly dimension to it. Outside the fact that it's, you know, already got some really cool, unique fragrance notes. There are a couple of them that are really very innovative and new, like Mahonia, I think, is one, if I can remember correctly. There's Lily of the Valley, Petalia, all these beautiful feminine florals, and not to mention orange blossom. And, you know, but it's very musky. It's a musk heavy one. There again, some people get intimidated by musk. This has ambroxan and that akigala wood, which is, I think, what is throwing off people. Akigala wood is this woody note that's really very nice, kind of like oud, but only like has a slight peppery vibe to it. So on the dry down, there's a bit of a kick from the akigala wood. I think that's something that not everybody understood, but this fragrance, you guys, if you really wear it, you'll understand. It's just a fabulous fragrance. You know, PDM always does such a fantastic job. Another 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 this year. Juliet Has a Gun, Lust for Sun. This was like, I don't know if you guys can see it. I sucked the juice out of this one last summer. Well, this just past summer this year. It was released in the summer this year and it smells heavenly, you guys. It has all the gorgeousness that there is for tropical notes. There's ylang, there's the jasmine, there's the gardenia, there's all these gorgeous tropical florals that just make you smell like a tropical goddess. There's coconut. I mean, come on, there's a slight suntan vibe, but not too much. Oh, this is just fabulous. Has the vanilla, the ambroxan, the musk, you know, like it smells heavenly. It smells like a tropical goddess. This reminds me of Hawaii, you know, that type of fragrance is perfect. I'm willing to bet there's even frangipani in here, but anyway, I can smell the ylang ylang very strongly, by the way. Anyway, this is a huge compliment getter, and it smells so heavenly. It was a huge win. Very popular fragrance too, not just me, everybody loves it. And then there's this one, Burberry Goddess. Boy, was this a huge, this one I can't smell out of the atomizer, so I'm gonna spray it a little bit. Yeah, so this is a fantastic fragrance too, and I mean, I understand. Is it groundbreaking? No. Have I smelled stuff like this before? Yes. This is just like kind of the same idea as Guerlain, Guerlain, you know, kind of like that slight bit of lavender with vanilla idea. It has this gourmand quality from the bucket of vanilla and some other gourmand notes too in here. Delicious smelling sweet gourmand notes. But then there's that bit of lavender that gives it that other dimension, kind of like the Guerlain, you know, how it's vanilla, but it's interesting because of the lavender, and it has a zing from the ginger, which is always a delicious note to add. It gives us this juicy, delicious zing. It's hard to describe. A win in my books, but it's not unique at all. That's the one negative about it. I may also cover all the M. Micallef fragrances. This is M. Micallef Ylang in Gold Special Edition Special, the original. I only have the nectar in my hands. I left the other one upstairs. So the edition special, the Ylang in Gold is not this year released at all, but the special edition in this gorgeous hand painted bottle. This one is a new release this year. This is the nectar version, which is the more punchy, more strong version of it with a little bit more musk. You guys know Ylang in Gold, the original is a, I like to call it a tropical vanilla. It has ylang ylang, obviously, with loads of vanilla and other notes. I'm not going to get into all the notes, but you get the idea. It smells like a very beautiful tropical vanilla with those tropical florals like ylang ylang and then vanilla. And then this is the same, except the more like on steroids. Like it's a little bit, it has a little more musk, it's a little stronger, a more potent version, if you will. Absolutely love it. I do have a discount code with the M. Micallef house. I'll link it down below. It's Cleo 10. And then here the Note Vanille Nectar was released this year as well, which is also the Note Vanille, the original you guys all know and love. It's one of the best vanilla fragrances on earth. It's slightly boozy. It slightly kind of has tropical notes. It's just this beautiful vanilla fragrance, you guys. It's hard to, you know, describe it fast. I'm trying to do speed talk in here so I can get through all of this. But this is the same, only stronger, if you will, because it's the nectar version. The nectar versions are the more potent, strong versions. Love to death. I don't need to talk about this too much because I just recently did 3 videos featuring this, one of which was comparing this to the original version, which is Gourmand Coquin by Guerlain. This is of course Feve Gourmand by Guerlain. Like I said, this is not the same as the original. Yes, Guerlain says that it replaced Gourmand Coquin, which it did. But are they the identical same perfume? No, that's the short answer. If you want the long answer, check out my video. I'll link it down below where I compared Gourmand Coquin, the original, to the Feve Gourmand. This one is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, it's just as, you know, it's also beautiful like the original, but not as beautiful as the original. If you ask me, slightly less beautiful than the original. But this also has that gorgeous slight dusting of cacao with the beautiful rose and all the gorgeous notes that are present in the original, but the amounts are different and some notes are slightly different. But this is an absolute winner as well. It's absolutely gorgeous. My husband loves the original to death on me. It's one of his favorites now, which I will tell you the story in a different video very soon. I'll have a special guest. This one is also a winner, which I think is a nice consolation prize for having lost Gourmand Coquin. So yes, in my books, it's a winner. Another winner from Emiclof this year, huge winner for men, is this one, Gin and Tonic. Oh my gosh, I don't have a lot of times to gush over this, you guys, but my husband wore this whole summer. Actually, he still wears it. He doesn't care about the seasonality of fragrances like I do. He actually is wearing this now too. He absolutely adores this. He's not a douser like me. He doesn't douse himself with fragrances, but look, still he put a quite nice dent into it. I think this smells so sexy. I love that tonic note, the gin vibe that this has, the citrus is it is the most unique men's fragrance ever. It really does smell like a sexy perfume version of a gin and tonic James Bond would have while wearing this fragrance. Okay, so I'm not gonna sit here and really do a review of each of these because these are all perfumes that I've reviewed on my channel. If you want to know like extended reviews, see extended reviews, go to my homepage, do keyword search in the little search box there within my channel, and you'll be able to find each of these fragrances. Do have a discount code, like I said, with them. Another huge winner for me is Cherry Punk on Tones. You guys know I die hard love Cherry Punk, the original. This was released this year, the intense version. I'm sorry, not on Tones, Extrait. Got it wrong. Cherry Punk Extrait. You guys, this is the more concentrated, stronger version of Cherry Punk. You guys know the whole, oh, I love this perfume. It's one of the best cherry fragrances ever. It's a cherry leather fragrance. It's not your everyday same old cherry almond combo, you know what I mean? It's more of a cherry leather fragrance, which is very edgy, very sexy. It's like that, you know, like Vivienne Westwood kind of like vibes, you know, like that kind of like punk rock chick vibes, you know, like a punk rock chick would wear this, you know, with like painted denim and like, you know, spiky heels. Anyways, yeah, it's that kind of edgy fragrance. This one is just like the original, only stronger, and it lasts even longer. I absolutely love it. I do have a discount code with Room 1015. By the way, that's the name of the fragrance house. This is Cherry Punk Extrait. I do have a discount code for that fragrance house down below in the description box. It's not Cleo 10 anymore, my discount code. It's a new one, so please go down to the description box. I can't remember what it is right off the top of my head. Check down in the description box. Another huge winner this year for me is this one, Acro Rise. Oh my gosh, this is such a gorgeous, fabulous, ooh, stunning fragrance, you guys. Oh, this has that, what is the same vibes as kind of like the Luby Mar, in terms like that sort of like that summery, oceanic, salty vibes a little bit underneath. But on top, it is a very beautiful, slightly sweet, tropical floral, you know? Those very bewitching tropical florals. It has this gorgeous tiare flower, you guys. You guys know tiare flower is like, oh, so good. It's one of the best tropical florals I have ever smelled. Divine. And it has Frangipani, which is my next top favorite. Actually, my favorite yellow floral, period. But it's one of my favorite tropical florals. So stunning. It has this sweet, slightly gourmand vibe from a toffee note, which is delicious and so unique in a tropical fragrance. It also has this sort of like a pina colada vibe, you guys, like pina colada, kind of like coconutty pina colada vibe, but only a slight bit. I think it has like some tropical fruity notes too, like pineapple and stuff. So frigging gorgeous. I do have a discount code with Lucky Scent, who sells this. You can get that on Lucky Scent. It's Cleo 10. Check the description box in case I forget. Oh, before I forget, gosh, I don't have it with me right now. I ordered Acro Bake. I actually know what it smells like because I have a sample. Acro Bake is absolutely delicious too, you guys. That's another new release from Acro this year. It was absolutely popular. It keeps selling out on Lucky Scent, you know. It's this very like beautiful, almost like a lemon tart custard, but like slightly lactonic, delicious gourmand like fragrance. It's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, Acro Rice and Acro Bake. I want to talk about both of them. I really wish I had it in my hands, but I don't. Then I have these two releases this year from Tom Ford to accompany Lost Cherry, which we already know and love. This is, of course, Electric Cherry and Cherry Smoke. You guys know my husband goes nuts for this on me. Like, it does something to him, okay? Electric Cherry. This one is absolutely gorgeous. It has like a slight tartness that just plays so well with the slight sweetness. And it has that orange blossomy kind of, almost like a cherry blossomy kind of vibe. Because this, I think the cherry that's in here is not dark cherry, but it's like the more tart cherry, sour cherry, I think. And it, so it has like with the white floral notes in here mixed together, it's almost like a cherry blossom vibe. It's super feminine in my opinion, and it's just so delicious. I mean, my husband goes nuts for this. I use it sparingly. I wear it on dates during spring and summer. That's my spring summer fragrance. Lost Cherry is kind of like, you know, cold weather for me, and although it doesn't perform well, what I do is I layer it with this one, which is definitely cold weather. Cherry Smoke. This is the smokier version of the other two. Let's just put it that way to save time. This is it's more of a dark black cherry with that boozy vibe that the Lost Cherry has too, which by the way, this doesn't have any boozy vibes. This does, and this is more close to Lost Cherry but with a little bit of smokiness. Also stunning, huge winner in my books. Then we have Kilian Can't Stop Loving You. This was a winner to me too. This is kind of a weird fragrance, you guys. This smells like a mashup between Love Don't Be Shy and Good Girl Gone Bad. Honestly, really, that's what it smells like to me. But it smells very interesting. It has that orange blossom, which gives it like that Love Don't Be Shy vibe, you know, in the same way. Mixed with the honey, it kind of almost gives the same effect because Love Don't Be Shy has like sweet notes with, you know, orange blossom in the same way. And of course it has loads of vanilla, but it has like almost like a, I don't know, Good Girl Gone Bad type of vibe too. It's hard to, it's more leaning Love Don't Be Shy, but it actually kind of resembles it a little bit, but with a little bit of a honeyed nuance. It has a bit of a balsamic vibe from Olibanum, but very faintly. But I can smell the vanilla too. Winner in my book. Then we have this here. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because there again, this is not one you can get a hold of anymore. I don't know why. This is of course Lancome La Nuit Tresor Fleur de Nuit, which is now it's hard to find them here. But I will try to link it down below. I found it, obviously how I bought it, but it keeps coming in and out of stock. But anyway, this has, you know, this is just as gorgeous as the entire Lancome La Nuit Tresor line, as you know, the original and the a la folie and all that. It's kind of the same thing, but imagine a more lactonic vibe. It has a macchiato and a whipped cream note, so that's where it gets that creamy, like lactonic vibes with that original sexiness of the original, you know what I mean? And then there was this one, My Way Parfum. This one is my favorite out of all My Way fragrances and flankers, the original and the flankers. This one has that lipstick vibe, you guys, from the Iris Pallida. It's a specific type of iris. Iris in general has like sort of like lipstick makeup kind of vibe, but the Iris Pallida, that really makes fragrances smell a little bit like lipstick. So this actually makes me think of like a performer, a burlesque dancer sitting at her, like, you know, vanity with all the lights, you know, in her, you know, like burlesque outfit, like lingerie type thing, and, you know, putting red lipstick on. So yeah, I really love this one. And of course, this came out this year. This is from Carolina Herrera. This is the Good Girl Blush. This is a beautiful bridal fragrance. It's vanilla, it's floral. Let me spray this because you can't smell this one. It's a little weird. Yeah, this is so pretty. It's got peony. It's so pretty, like beautiful peony, kind of vanilla peony and other beautiful florals. Absolutely gorgeous. They make me think of a spring bride, if it makes sense. Then you guys, these three, I'm going to talk about all three of them together. I'm not going to go into notes and accords, but this is from the LoveShackFancy. This is Moondance, this is Boheme, and this one is Forever in Love. This one is a little bit kind of like a blackcurrant, you know, juicy opening with some peony. Very pretty. These are very super ultra feminine fragrances. I mean, look at the bottle. Actually, my husband loves them. I'll tell you which one is my favorite. And then this one is a gardenia dominant one with a pear note. It's absolutely feminine too. Very, very pretty. It's a very pretty, mild, beautiful gardenia fragrance. And this one right here is Moondance. It's my favorite. It's a rose one, like surprise, surprise. I love rose, and this has like a magnolia note. This has like a magnolia note. It's really pretty, really pretty fragrance. I love it. I love all three of them. Also like the gorgeous, not gardenia. Gardenia was okay. Gorgeous magnolia, which I have it. I can't find it. It's somewhere. I don't know if I put it in a purse, but gorgeous magnolia is beautiful too. It's a beautiful magnolia fragrance. What else can I say? Okay, so I will give credit where credit is due. Kayali's newest fragrance here, the Eden Sparkling Lychee, is really good. This one has that sparkling lychee note with rose, you know, which is always a good combination. But is this the first time? No. Probably, you know, they got the idea from like PDM, you know, Delina has the lychee and rose. There's so many fragrances that has lychee rose combination. It's not new, but I do like the fact that it's the sparkling lychee which adds a bit of an effervescence to this, effervescent kind of nature to this fragrance. I really like this. This one actually surprisingly does linger. Okay guys, I have a couple of fragrances that I think were, you know, a couple of the best perfume releases of 2023 that I forgot I want to talk about right now. I only remembered these after I was done filming, so I can't believe I forgot this one. This was one of the best ones I enjoyed. It was hiding behind a bunch of fragrances. This one was one of my best fragrances this year that was released this year and I discovered this year. This is Gritty Gossip Night. This is one of the most delicious Gourmand fragrances. It's very creamy lactonic vibes it has from the whipped cream note that's in here. It's got some caramel. There's a little peach note that really adds deliciousness, like a delicious fruity vibe to this. It has lychee, by the way, also, which always is yummy in fragrances. This has a lot of vanilla, has a bit of a cozy feel, kind of like a sweater kind of feel from the cashmere, and then there's a lot of musk, which makes it really sexy. This is a huge compliment getter. Every time I wore this, I got a compliment. I kid you not. I can't tell you the dent, show you the dent, because the bottle is porcelain, which by the way I adore. It's probably down to about here from the way the juice is kind of in there, I can tell. Yeah, huge compliment, get a huge win, a huge wonderful winner of a release in 2023. By the way, this is available on Lucky Scent. Like I said, I have a discount with Lucky Scent. It's Cleo 10. All the discount codes will be linked down below in the description box. I might have forgotten to mention some of them, so please check down below in the description box. Then I have here one of the most underrated, I think. This should be talked about more. The bottle is, by the way, super gorgeous. This is Unveiling Extrait. You guys, this one has that original La Vie Belle DNA slightly underneath, but it's a very kind of deep, dark, sultry one. It has a bit of oud, but you can hardly tell the oud is there. It's so well blended. It's sweet. It has a bit of that floral note, but floral that's more prominent in this. The focus is the iris in here, iris Pallida, actually, with that makeup vibe that I absolutely adore. It has a gorgeous rose, and a bit of a kind of a smoky incense vibe that adds that sultriness to this fragrance. This is an absolute winner. A lot of you out there who don't like the La Vie est Belle, the original, or the most of the flankers that you think is a little bit too generic, you will not think that about this one. This is definitely not generic. It's a very, very interesting scent. As I said, the bottle is to die for. And of course, guys, I have to mention the newest Givenchy L'Interdit Rouge Ultime. That is a gorgeous release. I have it there again. It's in one of my purses, or I left it at work. I cannot find it, but I absolutely adore it. Love the red bottle. It is the best to this date, the best L'Interdit. Period. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the original. I have all the flankers basically, and this by far is my favorite. It is so beautiful. It has tuberose, but it's not overwhelmingly tuberosy either. It has the orange blossom, the jasmine, everything is just perfectly blended. That hint of cacao really adds another dimension to this fragrance, which I think makes it absolutely stunning. Really do think that cacao in there makes the difference in this fragrance. It's absolutely gorgeous. It almost has, like, there again, that sort of makeup vibe, but not exactly you get from Iris Pallida, you know, in a lot of fragrances. Not a lipstick vibe, but kind of like a sweet face powder from like a sweet vintage face powder kind of a scent to this, which may be coming from cacao mixed with the white florals in here. Absolutely love it. Stunner. Winner. A winner release this year. Gotta give a huge quick shout out to 3 of the 6 Guerlain Extrait collection fragrances. I just reviewed them in my video. I will link it down below in the description box, where I essentially reviewed the entire 6 perfume extrait collection from Guerlain. And I love 3 of them in particular, actually 4 of them, I should say. Vanille Planifolia Extrait 21 is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not going to get into the notes and accords because there'll be another video, you guys, of me talking about these fragrances. So, you know, there'll be more reviews coming up. Also love the Jasmine Grandiflorum Extrait 30, Rose Centifolia Extrait 1, and I love the Iris Pallida Extrait 6. Those are absolute winners. The entire Extrait collection was released this year. The whole collection is really wonderful, but there are 2 of them they don't agree with me, my personal chemistry and, you know, just my preference. But those 4 that I just talked about, absolute winners. Now for the worst releases of 2023. This one, Pistachio, Gelato, blah, blah, blah. Kayali, this is not a bad perfume, but this doesn't smell like pistachio, you guys. I mean, it's simple as that. It's like faint. It's more like an ice cream kind of lactonic vibe, and it's kind of a mess, you know, like a sweet mess a little bit, like too much citrus also. Didn't give me what I was looking for. And then the entire Kayali Oud collection was a flop. I actually got 3 of them, and I returned 2 because I hated them. The Oud Rose and the Oud Cafe, they were not good. Check out my video. I did review them. I'm not gonna spend too much time here. Oud Cafe was like not even, there was no coffee note at all to smell in it. I was expecting coffee and oud, but no, it was very sharp and weird. And Oud Rose was just like the same Oud Rose, Middle Eastern kind of like Oriental Oud Rose I have smelled too many times. Nothing new at all. And this one was the Vanilla Oud, which is the only one I kept, which is like better than the others. But the tobacco Oud was horrible. I didn't like it at all. Very, very masculine. Now this one I kept because I wanted to at least keep one. It's the better one, the Vanilla Oud. It's still a little too sweet to my taste with the oud. not the best. So these are the flops, you know, the worst releases of 2023. Now I was done with the best releases, so these are the, starting now, these are the worst releases of 2023. Didn't like those two, and the other ones I don't really have with me because I really didn't even keep them. The Tom Ford Cafe Rose, the new one, that was just too sharp, kind of headache inducing. Oh, by the way, same goes with the Kayali Oud Collection, gave me a kind of a headache. That Tom Ford one, that was not good. And Tom Ford Solei De Feu, that was not good at all. It was kind of like, I don't know, it was not good. I mean, you would think an ambery fragrance would be good. It didn't smell good, you guys. I don't even know what else to say about it. It didn't smell good on my skin at all. It was neither here nor there. It was kind of masculine. I did not like it at all, okay? Another one that I didn't really like this year, the one that was released this year, is Carmena. It was too overwhelming, too strong. It was all over the place, you know, raspberry, cherry, rose, leather, I mean, all kinds of notes. The cherry turned out, the black cherry turned out a little medicinal, and I smelled it, by the way, in a department store. I chose not to buy it, you know, I passed on it. Kind of an attack on your olfactory senses in a way. The bottle is beautiful. It kind of has like a cherry flavored, kind of a medicinal cherry flavored artificial lipstick, kind of, I don't know. And then also the cherry, kind of like the combination with the fruit almost kind of creates a berry kind of vibe too. It's not what I expected. It wasn't, you know, I wasn't wowed by it. So this was not a very good release. There were best releases, there were worst releases, there were things in between. I'm only talking about the best and worst in this video, so I think this does fall in the worst, one of the worst releases. You guys, yeah, those are the best and worst releases of this year. Let me know down in the comment section what your thoughts are about how I, you know, what I thought the best and worst were. What are your thoughts? I really want to hear from you guys as well. I didn't talk about a fragrance that was released this year that I actually have that didn't fall into best or worst. That means it's just, you know, it's okay, it's good, above average, but it's not the best, it's not the worst, right? So it's in between. I do have more new releases up there, you know, in my perfume collection that I didn't talk about here because they're not the worst, they're not the best, okay? So that's why. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, ring the notification bell so you will get notified every time I upload, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I will see you guys in my next video.